Hey, good morning, everyone. So it's a Saturday morning. I'm just getting done with a pretty hectic work week. I've had a kid home sick all week. Wife just had some surgery on her hand. So I've kind of been running ragged. It's finally the weekend, get a little bit of a break. They're both doing a little better, and I can get a few minutes out here in the garage. I know I posted a video, just kind of a quick overview of the new LMR dorm armrests, and I got those in the mail. Today we're going to get them on the car and go through a little bit of an install video and see how everything lines up. So stay tuned and check it out. All right, then I went ahead and took the panel back off. You do not have to take your door panel off to change these armrests, but if you want to replace all the clips on the door to go with the new hardware, the new screws that come with the armrest, take the door panel off, and I've circled the 4 areas where you're going to put these clips that come with your new armrests, and we're going to replace those. I had the one back here is just fine with how I had it. One of these that take the bigger bolts that really is what hold your armrest in place, one of them was stripped out on mine, so I'm going to replace them both and make sure I can get a good tight fit, but just be careful and don't over tighten them because you'll strip it out. And then this one up here has never really lined up correctly with my old armrests. I'd bought this set off of eBay. They are original OEM black armrests, but for whatever reason in the door, this clip has never seemed to line up with the hole that's up there by your window controls. So hopefully we're going to replace the clip in there and get the new armrest on and see if that problem goes away. And you can see here we've got a few different clips, so I'll go through each of the clips and the screws and explain where they go. All right, first thing I did is just cut out a little spot of this vapor barrier. These little spots aren't going to hurt anything. There already has to be cutouts for your harnesses and door handles, so a couple more isn't really going to hurt anything. And I'm just going to use this little hook pick to pull these old clips off in all 4 of those spots. So first off, the 2 silver clips have a slightly bigger hole in there for these larger bolts that really create the most secure clamping of the armrest to the door. So these silver clips are going to pop in the center of the armrest location. So that would be these 2 spots here. We'll just snap those in until they go down all the way. And we'll get the other one here. Just like that. Now, the next one, this longer clip, let me get the other one here. You can see the 2 black clips are different sizes. The one on the left is longer than the one on the right. Well, the longer clip actually does not go on your door. It goes on the back of your door panel. And so I'll flip mine over here and show you. This would be the top area where your switches are at. And you can see there's a little indent right here. And that's gonna, so we're looking at this backwards, the door panel. So you're gonna want the smooth end of the clip facing towards the outside of the door, or towards the inside of the car, rather. And you're gonna feed it around that little notch spot and push it in there. push it in all the way so that the rough end is on the back side of the door panel. And then on the front, you're obviously not gonna see it because it goes back underneath the vinyl here. Okay, now that remains this small clip, and again, the smooth side is gonna face towards the inside of the car, and we're gonna push that in right there. Now, as far as the two screws, they're different also. One of them has a wider head to it. The other one is a lot smaller, and you'll see this one has more of a self-tapping end on it with the smaller head, and this one has a point. So the one with the bigger, more finished looking head is gonna go in the top of your armrest, front of your armrest, because it is visible and has a little more of a finished look to it. And then the self-tapping with the smaller head is gonna go in the back here because it's a recessed hole. It needs to be a smaller screw to fit down in there, and you don't really see it. So next up, we're gonna move on to the new armrest. We got another hardware bag here that has our clips that help hold the armrest in place. So we'll open all those up. You can see on my old armrest, obviously they point down away from the armrest. So we're gonna do the same thing here. This is gonna line up there, and we got a couple of little screws here. Now, I recommend that you do not try to use a power drill and strip these out right off the bat. So I'm gonna use a hand screwdriver. There's not a lot of resistance there, but even on a low setting, I wouldn't trust a cordless screwdriver to not strip these out. So again, I'm not gonna crank them down hard. So there's one, that was pretty easy. We'll get the other clip set up here. Snug them up a little bit. Okay, easy. Now once you get these clips on, be careful how you're setting these. Don't set the armrests on top of each other, or you're gonna scratch them up before you ever get them installed. So now that those are on there, I'm gonna keep them in different areas so they're not rubbing up against each other. And now we'll turn our attention to our old armrests, and we gotta do a little disassembly. Now, some of you may have bought the deluxe kit that comes with a new set of pads, so you won't need to worry about this, but I'm gonna have to remove the 4 screws that holds the pads in place. And again, I don't use a power screwdriver when I'm putting these in either, because they will strip out easy, and it doesn't take much to cinch them down. So once I get these 4 screws undone, this thing pops right off. And I'll need to keep these screws, because next thing we got to do is take the screw off of our switch cover panel here, and pop this out. That's pretty easy and straightforward. And then you'll notice there's something going on here with mine. If you haven't seen the other videos I posted, I put some neon or LED light strip in here that turns on with a switch in the car for at night. It goes right along the chrome panel. So I gotta take this off. You won't have to worry about any of that. Your new kit comes with new trim strips here, so you don't have to pull your staples out and pull this off the old one. But I'm gonna have to get my light out of here. All right, to the best of my ability, I cannot tell that these are a left and a right. They look to be the same to me. What you want to pay attention to is on the back side. You can tell, hopefully you can see here, either one of these that come with the kit can go on either armrest, as long as you have this piece that's angled down going inside this channel to help retain it. We've got to staple these in place. All right, well, I got my LED strip down in there. I used some 1/4 inch double-sided tape and I cleaned the armrest with an alcohol wipe, let it dry, put a strip of double-sided tape down. Then I laid the LED strip on top of that, and then I put another layer of double-sided tape down. Then I put the chrome strip on, and then I stapled it in. Now, it is very hard plastic, so these staples do not go in very well with my stapler. That's just a hand stapler. They're in enough to keep it in place. A lot of them did not get both tangs to go into plastic. Usually just one of them did. So what I'm gonna do now, it's enough to keep it in place. I recommend you start at the curved end back here and get your chrome strip lined up flush there. Go around the bend and then work your way towards the front. And then any excess will just kind of curve up around here. If you start at the front end first and you might have some sticking out past the back of the armrest at the other end where the curve is at. So I'm gonna fish my switches through the armrest here and get the bottom into place first, and then just put that one screw back in, and that looks real good. Fits just fine. I didn't have any trouble getting it to get into place here. And here's my screw. And yeah, nice fit. Fits flush. Popped right into place. Definitely looks better than the old one I had. Then we're gonna put the armrest back on, and pretty easy there. It just fits down into place here. You can see. We'll go to the back side and get our screws. It doesn't take much once you see the gap along the pad and the armrest. Once you see that gap closing up, you feel a little resistance on the screw, and just another 1/4 or 1/2 turn is it, or else you're gonna strip them out. Yep. Good fit. And with the door panel back on, I've got my connectors fished through. I've got my extra connector for the light fished through. We're gonna take the clips that we installed and fish them right down into these notches in the door panel. Then we'll get our 2 connectors plugged in. The front here, tuck my excess light strip down inside there, out of the way. My LED light plugged in, and then you just get your connectors back inside the inside of the armrest, and we'll get our 2 big bolts started first. There's one. Boy, I drop a lot of stuff. There's the other one. First thing I'm noticing is with some fresh clips in the door, it's harder to get them threaded on, so I could tell now that they were stripped out pretty good. The old ones from so many times that we take these on and off probably. Okay, I want to leave these still loose so that there's some movement in the armrest so we can get our other screws lined up. So now I'm going to take the screw, the smaller one, and get it fed in to the backside here. See if that lines up on the first try. Feels like it did. And there. The front here, and see if this one lines up. I can feel it tightening up a little bit, so don't over tighten it or you're gonna strip it out. And now let's go back and tighten up our 2 bolts. I think that does it. So here you can see the new LMR armrests, the new pad that I had bought originally just a year or 2 ago. Very good fit and finish. Everything lined up just right. I'm really happy with them. Get our plugs in here, and we should be, and of course I dropped it. Now all I got left to do is get my door handle on, get the last couple of screws in the door panel, get the mirror cap on, and we're done.